That's right. And everywhere we've gone, we've just had just extraordinary reception from people. People in Pennsylvania are just wonderful, wonderful folks. And so I want to publicly, right here, downtown, thank all the people of Pennsylvania. About traveling around states and talking to people, because I've been running now for 15 months, which means that there are babies who've been born and now are walking and talking since that started. There's one right there. I love you back. There's another one. Babies for Obama. Here's one. Popping up everywhere. There's one over there. But when I announced 15 months ago, I was standing on the steps of the old state capitol in Springfield, Illinois. And this is the building where Abraham Lincoln served for most of his life before he traveled to Washington as president. And it's the city where I served for many years in state government before I joined the United States Senate. And when I made the announcement, there were a number of people who said, Brock, why are you running this time? Why are you running so soon? You're a relatively young man. You can afford to wait. And I had to explain, look, I'm not running because of some long-held ambition. I'm not running because I think it's somehow owed to me, because I think it's my turn. I am running because of what Dr. King called the fierce urgency of now. There's such a thing as being too late. And I believe that hour is almost upon us. We are in a defining moment in our history. Our nation is at war. In fact, we're in two wars. One that we need to win, and one that should have never been waged. Marked the 5th anniversary of the war in Iraq. We just marked 4,000 young Americans fallen as a consequence of that war, thousands more grievously injured. A war that hasn't made us more safe and has distracted us from the war that we needed to fight in Afghanistan against Al-Qaeda, those who killed 3,000 Americans. And even as we look at the challenges abroad, we have challenges here at home. Our economy is teetering on the edge of crisis. All across America, I meet people who are at risk of losing their home, who are at risk of losing their job, who don't have health care. Even if you've got a job, you've seen your wages and your income stagnate over the last 7 years. The first economic expansion since World War II in which you were no better off at the end of it as you were at the beginning of it. In fact, for a lot of folks, people have lost ground. Average families lost $1,000 in real earning power when you take inflation into account. And so people are working harder and harder just to keep their head above water. They've never paid more for health care, never paid more for a college education, never paid more for a gallon of milk or a gallon of gas. It's harder to save and it's harder to retire. And a lot of people were keeping up because there was that gap at the end of the month between what you were taking in and what was going out. A lot of people covered it with credit cards or home equity loans, and now that's getting tough.
So,
28 million on food stamps.
all across the country, people are worried about their economic futures, but more importantly, they're worried about their children's economic futures and their grandchildren's economic futures, because we've also loaded up a record amount of debt, $4 trillion. It took George Bush one term to almost equal what the previous 42 presidents had achieved in terms of national debt. We were at 5, and George Bush got $4 trillion worth of debt just in 2 terms in office. Our healthcare system leaves 47 million people without health insurance. Hugely inefficient. And we're not healthier than other industrialized countries. Our infant mortality rate is higher. Our life expectancy is often lower. And if you have health insurance, what's happened? You've seen your co-payments, your deductibles, your premiums all going up. If you're a senior citizen, I meet them all the time, can't afford prescription drugs because the drug companies were able to write a provision in the prescription drug Medicare law that says you can't negotiate with the drug companies for the cheapest available price on drugs. Our schools, despite the slogans, leave millions of children behind. Unable to compete in a global economy. So you take that all together, in such circumstances, we can't afford to wait. We can't wait to fix our schools. We can't wait to fix our healthcare system. We can't wait to bring back good jobs and good wages here to the United States of America. We can't wait to